at that point, I decided, she told me, she's like, why don't you open my franchise in Dubai? You have to become an instructor. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Everything flies. When you're at work, everything doesn't fly. So we decided that, you know what, I was like, listen, I want to do this. And he wants to, grow the dance and the wedding choreography in this business. I help everybody through movement. When I always say that you should not live in pain, I was living in pain the last 2 months of my pregnancy. In the process of trying to give them a better life, don't miss out on the days. What gives me hope? History.
Shazia, how have you been?
I've been amazing, Anish. It's great to see you.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Thank you for being part of our season 2 Imprint of Success podcast.
It's my pleasure.
How's Abbas?
He's doing very well. We're both working on business expansion. I know it seems like a
Okay.
strange time to work on that, but
No.
we are working on that now.
That's good. That's good. You're manifesting, you're thinking positive.
Yes.
That's always the goal. But I mean, the reason I bring up Abbas's name is who's your husband. He's also your business partner.
Yes.
How does that work? How does such an equation work?
I think you would know, but
I know,
for
but
everybody
that's why I want to get other people's thoughts on it.
Right. Look, let me rewind a bit
Okay.
to when before we even got married. I always felt like I wanted to work with my husband.
Okay.
I wanted to get into business with him, and the reason was I used to work with my dad before this. And when I worked with my dad, I think we had the most incredible relationship, and it transformed our father-daughter relationship into a lot more respect, a lot more, picking each other's brains at the dinner table. It was a beautiful time for our relationship, my father and I. So I was like, it's a no-brainer. Like, I must go into business because think about it, right? You are your best self at work. When you show up to work, you show up all guns blazing. You're out to close whatever you need to close, and you're your best self, right? If you're not working with your husband, in my head, I was like, my husband is never going to get to see that side of me, which is my best self. And I'm never going to get to see that side of him. And so when we got married and we started working together, we opened the pad. I was like, yeah, of course we have to work together. Reality hit a little while later because I realized that with my dad, I was not married to him. I was not spending every other second of my day.
A father-daughter thing is a very different thing than...
Didn't realize that then. So there are some amazing things. Like we opened our studio 1 year after being married. So on our first anniversary, we opened our studio. And
The pad.
The pad.
Yeah.
And we were so proud, and it was like our first baby, right? So when you're raising your baby together, your blood, sweat, soul, everything is going into it together. None of us were ever complaining, you're working too hard, I don't get to see you. We were seeing each other all the time. We were at work 12 to 14 hours a day together. So in that sense, it was great. What we did realize is we were constantly bringing work back home.
Yeah.
And that distinction and that line between you leave work there and then this becomes your life. There really isn't that distinction when you're working with your partner.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to say, we're going to go out on date night, but let's not talk about work. When anybody goes out with their partner, they talk about work, right?
Yeah.
But you're at different jobs. You're talking about your own jobs. You're here together, so you're only talking about the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
So it's been a challenge over the years. It's been 8 years now that the pad has been open. And we've come, of course, to a very great understanding now of what he manages and what I manage, and we try not to, overstep each other in these areas. But as people, we're quite different in the way we operate.
Okay.
So it's taken us a while to find a middle ground for the studio to run peacefully while I want to do A, B, C, D, E at like 25,000 speed, and he wants to do X, Y, Z at like 10 speed. So it's been a little bit of an adjustment.
So can you define what are your roles
Yeah.
at the pad?
So for me, I manage Pilates, I manage the entire marketing, and I manage human resources and hiring instructors, training instructors, all of those things.
Okay.
Abbas manages the entire dance part of it, training the dance instructors. He manages the operations and the admin and all the legal stuff.
Okay.
So I don't look into those things.
All right. And it's been how many years now since you...
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
What have you realized now in these 8 years on drawing the line, and how do you guys find that mid ground? What were those?
The biggest thing that goes out the window when you're working with your spouse is you think you can talk to them at work the way you talk to them at home. And that just doesn't work, right? Because you can talk to your husband. I mean, I talk to my husband in a certain way, and if we have a fight, I'm okay to sometimes shout and get angry. But
You
if
can't
you
do
had a
that.
business partner, you would never talk to them
Yeah.
like that. So it's drawing that boundary, remembering what would I do if this person wasn't my husband or this wasn't my wife,
Yeah.
and drawing that line to say, I cannot say these things here. And it's not acceptable to say those things. But in a marriage, everything goes, right? Everything flies. When you're at work, everything doesn't fly. I think that was my biggest learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how is the pad classified? Does that come under fitness, wellness? How do you position it?
We're a boutique fitness studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Does it give a different perception when you say wellness?
So today, in today's day and age, wellness is really classified as a lot of different things, right? Wellness has a whole umbrella of things under it. So
Yeah.
it could be from like meditation to yoga to Pilates to ice bath to infrared saunas to like floating on the river and meditating there and sound healing and so many breath work. There's so many things under wellness. So we
Yeah.
surely come under that umbrella and that category. But at the pad, we're very much focused on fitness. And that is one of the main reasons we never got yoga into the mix, because Pilates is very focused on anatomical body movement. So how do you move your body as efficiently as possible? It's not about going deep within and finding your, calm and peace. You're going to do that because we're breathing through the class, but that is not the intent of the class. The intent of the class is to help you walk out taller, right? With yoga, there's a lot of meditation. There's a lot of kind of going within. We are very clear with we're a fitness studio,
Yeah.
but not like a big, large format gym, like a boutique fitness studio. When you come in, everybody will know your name, will know who you are, will know your injuries, will know your problems, will know what you can and can't do, will modify even a group class to you because we're a small group class, but we're very focused on fitness, Pilates and dance.
But is it easy for people to understand that dance comes under that fitness? Pilates could be, but do you have to keep positioning or branding yourself that, oh, we also do dance?
Yes. So it has been, we've honestly come about now, everybody knows us as a Pilates studio.
Yeah.
But they also, the dance, because you're actually absolutely right about it. Pilates and dance are so different from each other.
Yeah.
It's been hard to bring them under one roof. And so we've always struggled to tell people we also do dance, because the
Yeah.
pure people who want to do dance will not come to us. They'll go to just a dance studio, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
it has been that. But one avenue we found that really works for us, because you have to also realize the price points are very different, right? So like Pilates is much higher priced, and dance in the industry is much lower priced as well. So we can't always be at that price as the industry because we are a premium studio. So our dance is also slightly higher. One region we've seen great breakthroughs is in wedding choreography. So when
Okay.
we go into wedding choreography, that is where we've seen the feeling of being a premium studio and a boutique studio teaching you, and you can come into the pad where you learn your choreographies and you get Abbas and his team coming over to your house. That has been really amazing for us. So dance right now is a revenue churner, and we're still working on it.
Yeah.
But the main one, the second revenue source, would be wedding choreography.
Got it. Because that was actually my next question, that how do you, in terms of percentage, how much does Pilates and dance like constitute? How
Yeah.
much is Pilates of the entire business versus dance?
I would say it's about 65-35.
Okay.
65% Pilates and 35% weddings and dance.
And how has the last 2 months impacted both?
I think the last 2 months have impacted everybody. People have left town. There's this overall fear of what's going to happen. There's this feeling of uncertainty. Nobody wants to really spend money, commit to anything.
Yeah.
One of our biggest, most important memberships is the monthly membership, right? It's the auto renewal. And nobody wants to commit to that right now because it's like, I don't know where I'm going to be next month or what's going to happen to the city next month. So from that perspective, it has definitely impacted both our revenue streams. The weddings all got cancelled or
Yeah.
got postponed. So from that perspective, wedding choreography was out as well. But things are definitely picking up. Since schools have started now, had started,
Yeah.
they
Back
keep
to
going back
online,
and
yes.
forth. So there's even more uncertainty now. But kind of people have come back because school started. Even for those 2 weeks, people came back, and we saw a surge in traffic. We saw a surge in people coming into the studio. We saw a surge in occupancies. So everything started to get better. But I think it's going to be a few months before we see any kind of normalization.
Yeah, I mean, with the season, like summers, I'm assuming is quieter.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of demographics, how different is, like, what is your demographics for Pilates compared to dance?
So,
I mean, dance, I understand you said Indian wedding choreography primarily.
Indian wedding choreography, but also our dance classes are also very. So we have Zumba, which is our international dance, but then we have Bollywood, Bollyfit, Bhangra Fit. So the very Indianized dance.
All spearheaded by Abbas.
Yes, and he has a team of 3 people that work with him. So from that perspective, dance is very much Indian focused because the Indian population will want to do Bollyfit. Once in a while, get the foreign crowd and the expats and the Goras to come in, but not very often. Our Pilates, on the other hand, is primarily Europeans and non-Southeast Asians, basically. So our mix would be maybe 40% Southeast Asian and then 60% white people.
And you oversee it, like you're there throughout, through and through.
Yeah. So the main thing that I oversee is the quality of training, right? So in any Pilates studio, and in the last, since COVID, so since 2021, there has been an absolute boom in the Pilates industry.
Yeah.
I think we're at a space now where you like throw a rock and it'll land on a Pilates studio, right? Like,
why is that so, you think? Because there's good money in it, or just it's...
One is that there's good money in it and people have figured out that it's a great model. Two is the demand for it has gone crazy. So more and more studios are mushrooming and popping up.
Yeah.
But also
Also, is everyone licensed and certified?
That's
a separate question.
That's
Okay.
absolutely what I was going to come to. So there was actually a study that was done, the largest one in the Middle East, that said even the gyms now are moving to have more wellness services because just gyms are not doing well. So 76% of fitness providers today in the UAE are different wellness concepts, not just gyms, right?
Yeah, I think it's also because when you tag or brand yourself with wellness, that's why I'd asked you that question earlier, the price people perceive is higher.
Yeah.
They're willing to spend when they hear that,
Yeah.
or those kind of services provided under the wellness category.
True. It's also everything. I think it's the moment you step into a space, the first 3 seconds. What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you see? How do you feel, right?
First impression,
It's that feeling. And that's what we go for. That's the first 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Then comes the actual part where you're meeting your instructor, your instructors. It's pretty intimidating going into something you've never tried before. You've only seen on Instagram. You've seen celebrities do most of the time. To walk into a Pilates studio and be like, I'm going to put myself out there can be very intimidating for the first time, right?
Yeah.
So how does the instructor make you feel comfortable, guide you through the entire class very safely, so that you feel a challenge, but also you feel very comfortable. So all of these things are what we kind of specialize in, right? With the boom of the Pilates industry, what we've seen is that now there's over, I think, 80 or 90 studios, again, boutique fitness studios.
Just in Dubai.
Just in Dubai, offering Pilates. That is not including all the gyms that now have reformer Pilates rooms with like 20 reformers in them. So they have mass reformer rooms, right? And so they all need instructors.
Yeah.
Suddenly you have all these people coming in, and there are not that many instructors coming in. So the instructor training courses are increasing. Now within the Pilates community, there are different schools you can do Pilates from. Where I've studied from is a classical school of Pilates. It's called Fletcher Pilates. And I'm the only Fletcher Pilates instructor here in Dubai. Well, I was until I started teacher training and made more. So now I'm not. But I'm the only teacher trainer here in Dubai.
Okay. But that's again at a fee you do that, obviously. That's
Yes.
part of your business.
Yes, absolutely. That is part of my business, the instructor training. Then there's other schools that I'm not going to mention. But so to give you just like a bit of history, for me, I did a 2-year program to get 2 certificates.
Okay.
Saying I am Fletcher Pilates professional and Fletcher Pilates beginner, right? So these 2 certifications came, the beginner and advanced, came after 1 year and then 2 years of my teaching. Today, people are getting certificates after a weekend course. They're doing 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, and they're getting a certificate of participation, which they're then taking to studios saying, I have a certificate. It is not a certificate to teach. It is a certificate of participation, which means you've participated in this course. But if I participate in a 2-day photography course, are you going to hire me because I've done a course?
Like how my kids get that school participation certificate. It's exactly like that. And they get hired on that.
They get hired on the basis of that.
Okay.
So the problem is now becoming, you have all of these studios that have these instructors who are not experienced, who've just come out of training, And I know this not because I've gone to those studios, but because I have done hundreds of interviews, because I'm trying to hire more people as well to open my new studio. And I'm appalled at how these people are even teaching in studios. Like it's unbelievable to me. So this is one of the problems we have in the industry. Now, you coming in as a new person, don't know any better, right? You don't know what is good versus bad if this is your first experience.
Yeah.
So you think, okay, this is what it's meant to be. Sometimes you may get injured. Sometimes you may not get injured. You may just think, I don't really like this. It's giving Pilates sometimes a bad name because people don't know what they're really teaching. So that's the problem.
And you're able to identify those. Like, imagine your competitor is high at that. How does that affect your business? Because you know that your competitors getting in the clients or getting in that business, but their instructors are not even that qualified. How does that affect your business, and how do you like work on those?
I've never really looked at other studios as my competition, not because I think we're better than them, but simply because I feel like every studio offers something different to some people who need it.
How do you differentiate?
For us, it's very simple. You get the best quality product service it is a premium price for sure, but every instructor, there's a freelance model of instructors where there are 30 freelancers who come in like 2-3 hours and teach and go, right? For me, we only hire full-time instructors. So every single person working at the pad is a full-time Pilates instructor.
Exclusive
To the pad, working 6 days a week only with me.
Okay.
And trained by me. Not just once, on a weekly basis. We go through a 2.5-hour training every week to make sure that we are all up to date and we're all teaching the same thing and we all have the same kind of process. And we all, not just process, we all have the same type of teaching. There's a certain, in Fletcher Pilates, they teach us that there's a certain rhythm to even the way you teach.
Okay.
It's not like a 1, 2, 3, 4, because then your client's movement will be 1, 2, 3. It's more like a inhale 1 and back and 2 and back, and whatever I say, your movement continues. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Okay.
Every single instructor at the pad teaches like this because it is an experience when you come into a Pilates class. It's not just a movement class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Tell us about you're opening a new one.
Yeah.
And where is that and how is that happening?
It's happening in Dubai South. You heard
Okay.
it here first. So we chose that region because it is...
It is a booming region. I mean, I know I recently had someone from real estate, and Dubai South is picking up.
Yes.
Even in sales-wise, they did fantastic last month.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Dubai South is a really great upcoming area.
Yes.
And one of the main reasons I chose it is, like I said, I don't consider competition, right? So if there's already 5 Pilates studios in an area, I don't want to go be the 6th one. Not because I don't think I can compete, but because I don't want to take someone else's business away just for the sake of opening a new studio. So for me, I want to open where they don't have access to Pilates. Dubai South has 0 Pilates studios right now. They have 0 dance studios right now. They have very little of everything right now.
Yeah.
So it's just an upcoming community. So we're going to be the first people over there.
But you've assessed the community in terms of demographic, like the spending power, because you're saying you're at a premium point.
Yes.
And I'm assuming you're going to keep the same pricing.
Yes, absolutely. So, the people who move to Dubai South, a lot of them are house owners. They want to buy houses, but Dubai has just become way too expensive now for smaller and smaller spaces.
Yeah.
So when you go to Dubai South, you get really good sized villas for 2 or 3 million. And suddenly you have your own space for not such a high price. And if you're able to pay that, you obviously have the capacity. The reason I know this is because a bunch of my clients who were in the greens bought stuff in Dubai South and moved there.
Okay.
And then they tried coming from there. They were like, it's a 30-minute drive one way. It's impossible. It's a whole other life, right?
So where exactly at Dubai South are you? Like, how do you reach there? Let's say from your existing outlet at the Greens. How do you reach there?
How do you reach there?
The one where you're opening in Dubai South.
Yeah. So you take the normal road towards the Expo.
Yeah.
And
Sheikh
then
Zayed, yeah.
Sheikh Zayed, and you just keep going straight on it, and you just keep going straight on it, and you keep going straight on. It's really far.
What exit?
It's 30 minutes away. Which exit?
Like, do you know like how?
Great question, Anisha. I just follow Google Maps and it takes me there. But I'll tell you the location.
Which building? Yeah.
The location is where the Dubai South Sales Center used to be.
Okay.
So they obviously choose the best locations for themselves because everybody who's buying property has to come to the sales center. The old Dubai South Sales Center used to be there. Now they've moved to headquarters.
Okay.
But it's right in front of the townhouses, the Pulse townhouses. It's in the center of the community. The oldest restaurant is right next to me that opened up first in Dubai South. There's a boxing gym right next to me as well. So it's a really great area.
When do you open?
September.
September.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Right after the summer.
Schools, yes.
Yes,
Schools
when
and
the
schools
schools
start.
start.
And hopefully this war is completely over by then.
Your aunt is Yasmin Karachiwala. That is your dad's sister.
Yes.
How big a role she played in starting the business and 8 years now?
Yasmin is a phenomenon. So if you meet her, she is, she can convince anyone of anything. She has this very special superpower. The only thing she couldn't convince me of until I met Abbas was to go to the gym. And she couldn't convince me to get into fitness.
Okay.
So I had been on diets my entire life, and I had been on, I did bariatric surgery. I did everything to lose weight. I just didn't go to the gym until I moved to Dubai when I got married. And my husband used to go to the gym for 2 hours a day. And I would get bored at home because he was living alone. And I'd be like, fine, I'll just come with you to give you company. And while I was doing that, I'd be like, no, your form is wrong and you need to engage your core and your back is not straight. And he was like, I thought you didn't go to the gym. I was like, yeah, but my aunt is Yasmin. So I've been enough times. I would be like, once a month is like 12 times a year for, 10 years is 120 times. I've been enough times to know. So at that point, I decided, she told me, she's like, why don't you open my franchise in Dubai? And I thought it was great because I come from a business family and I thought it will be a new business venture, just like a lot of the studios are today opening up.
Yeah.
And she said, no, if you want to you want to own my studio, you have to become an instructor. And I was like, that's ridiculous. I'm not into fitness. I don't even like Pilates. Why are you forcing me to become an instructor? And she said, that's my only condition that I have. And so she didn't get me to Bombay. She took me to Arizona, which is where I studied Fletcher Pilates. This was her 3rd certification. And she said, this is the most intense certification I've done, and I want you to do only this one.
Okay.
I still remember it was like 16 of us in the course. Yasmin was one. There were 14 other ballet dancers who were like beautifully mobile and flexible. And then there was me, and my leg wouldn't go straight up. And the instructor's like, until your leg goes straight up, you can't do this exercise. And I was like, what am I doing here? That's where my journey started. And today I understand why she said that to me, because our model doesn't run on what are the numbers looking like.
Yeah.
Our model runs on who are our clients, what kind of clients do we want, who are our instructors, how are they teaching, what is the quality of teaching. And when you're just running it as a business, you don't care who your instructors are or what kind of training they're doing. And how do you even give them advice, because you don't know what's good and what's bad, right? So I understand now why she said that to me, and it completely changed my life and my husband's life.
But she being a name, like a brand on her own, since she obviously has like very high profile clients.
Yeah, pretty much all of Bollywood.
Yeah, a lot of Bollywood. How has that helped your business? I mean, I'm sure it helped at the start. And does it still keep helping? I mean, do clients come here because they know this is affiliated with Yasmin Karachiwala?
Yeah, so when we first opened, touchwood, from month 1, we were breaking even operationally.
Yeah.
And that's only because of her name. The first 60 clients that walked in through the door walked in because we were a Yasmin Karachiwala studio.
Yeah.
And she posted about it, and they were so excited that she was in Dubai that they walked in, right? Over time, it's now been 8 years. We've built a name for ourselves where people, even who don't know her, know who the pad is and know who me and Abbas are, right? But it has taken that long to build us up. So today, there are still people who walk in through the door because of her name, but majority of them now walk in because of the brand that we've created over the years. But I have no inhibitions that this was all self-made or self-built. Nobody self-built.
I mean, Yasmin was the name when
she was the name who
when it was
magnetized
incepted,
people.
when it started. Now is it you both, Abbas and Shaazia, or is it the pad that people are aware of and they come?
No, it's the pad. And we've also very consciously made that decision because in the first 4 years, I was teaching insane amount of hours a day. I was teaching between 6 to 10 hours of private classes that I would be personally teaching.
Okay.
It was taking a very, very heavy toll on me. And people were only coming for me. And more people were getting referred to Shaazia, right? And I said, I only have these many hours a day. I cannot do more clients. And so very consciously, I made the decision to start training my instructors so that they would still teach great quality Pilates, but I was not the face anymore.
Okay.
They were not, so whether I was out on a holiday or I was whatever, my studio is still running without me. And that's what we want for any business, right?
And how many hours do you teach now? Do you still do classes?
I do, because there are some of my old clients who refuse to train with anyone else.
Okay.
I love them, and they will not go to anyone else, and they love me.
Is that a different rate that they have to do it with you compared to?
Yeah.
one
So
of
if you
your-
come to my studio, yes, you're paying a different rate for me versus my instructors.
Okay.
Simply because of the experience, the teacher training. Most teacher trainers will charge a different rate, and honestly, I'm not looking at taking on more clients right now.
Okay.
So
Why is that so?
Because, Anish, my specialty is rehabilitation. So if someone comes to me with, I had a client once, for example, who had something like 8 surgeries in his thigh.
Okay.
His femur bone had completely shattered, and he had 8 surgeries in his thigh, right? I love working with these complicated cases. He was like limping super badly when he came to me, and in 2.5, 3 months, he was walking. Like, unless you knew he had a problem, you wouldn't realize he had a limp. His walk had become that good, right? I have people who have had pain for shoulder and neck pain for 14 years, chronic, just chronic, cannot drive, mother of 2 kids, has come, and in 6 months, the pain has gone. So these are the kind of clients I love working with, people who actually need rehabilitation, who other people can't help and can't fix. So if you come to me and you're like, I can pay your rate and I just want you to make me fitter, a lot of instructors can do that.
Yeah.
That's why you're coming to me, I don't want to spend my time doing that. I want to spend my time where I actually have an impact on pain, because that's where I specialize.
So now that you've gained all those hours that you were obviously working on, what do you do with those?
Open new studios. My plan is to open 2 a year for the next 2 years.
This is your second one that's opening
This
in
is my
Dubai.
second.
Okay, and now you're just going to go...
Yeah, now we're going to go all guns blazing.
So this is your vision, that 25x speed?
Yes, it is only my vision. I'm actually doing it on my own. Because after a point, Abbas and I realized that we can't, if we keep working together, we'll chew each other's brains off. So we decided that, I was like, listen, I want to do this, and he wants to, grow the dance and the wedding choreography in this business. So we just decided to do it separately. In the same space, but in terms of, I'm going to do business expansion, and he's going to manage operations.
Okay, but it'll be, so Dubai South is
It'll
only
be the
focused on
bag.
Pilates.
No. It's still
It
Pilates.
will still have
the brand
Pilates.
stays the same, the concept stays the same.
Yeah.
It's just what we focus on changes.
Okay,
That's
so
the only
you are more now, I think, in business development and expansion.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Once it's developed, he can come in and manage it. I don't like all those things. I don't like doing the same things. I constantly need new things. He's very happy doing the same thing for 10 years.
And do you have other investors, or is it just you guys?
No, it's just us.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Investing in ourselves, because there is a franchise model which a lot of people have spoken about. A lot of
Yes.
people are doing in Dubai right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like, again, the problem with that is the main problem, the quality of your service goes down. See, when you're a product, it's much easier to franchise. When you're a McDonald's, there's a set recipe.
Yeah.
Right? You have to just follow that
Yeah.
recipe, and it's a cookie cutter model. With service, it's not that easy. Again, it's how you make a person feel. It's what classes you're teaching. It's how good your instructors are. And those kind of things get diluted when somebody's taking the model only to make money out of it.
But there are Pilates studios that do franchise.
Loads.
Yeah. So you think that is not a successful model?
I'm not saying it's not successful. It's
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the quality control is... Yasmin franchises. We're a franchise of Yasmin.
Yeah, I mean, but you're also family, so it's in the family. Yeah.
Yes. But she has a lot of other people who have franchised out her she has about 18 studios now.
Wow.
Who are franchises. So I think 3 of them are within the family. Her son runs one, I run one, and she runs one. And the others are all franchised out. And I've seen the struggle she's had, in maintaining quality.
Yeah.
And for a person who comes in as an investor, they don't know and they don't care about the quality. They're only worried about the numbers and the bottom line. So I just don't want that to happen to our brand.
So 2 a year is your plan.
Yeah.
That's great. That's ambitious.
Yeah.
What would help you with that? I know you're very active on social. Do you feel that plays a strong role in your business? obviously getting in new clients. We're not talking about retention right now.
Right. Are you talking about my personal or the pads?
Both.
Or both. So the pads, I don't look at my personal social media from a business perspective. I kind of just post what I feel like posting.
But there's
There is definitely an added value to
Yeah.
it because there's, what do you call it? There's some kind of, people recognize me, people
Yeah.
start knowing who I am.
obviously because
what
I
stand
also
for.
know your network. Like you have a network because you were part of BNI, so you know that they would follow the pad and they would follow you as well.
Correct. So
And you're an open account.
I have an open account.
Yeah.
But I've never consistently posted. For me, I think I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so it's hard for me to consistently post on my page because I'm constantly
Yeah.
like, is this good enough content? And one day I'll wake up in the morning, I'll be like, I don't care, I just need to post, and then I'll post it, and that post will do really well. And I'm like, why was I overthinking it, you know? But I don't monetize my account. It's not for that purpose. It's really for me, the posts that have reached a lot of people are the posts where I've been the most honest and real and raw, whether it's about motherhood, whether it's about how hard pregnancy is, whether it's about weight and how I've struggled with it. And those are the posts that reach the most number of people. And I've realized that people not a lot of people talk about these things. You know, you see so much of these actresses posting pictures
Yeah.
of them in their beautiful outfits and these designers and Met galas and whatnot, but you don't actually see the reality behind it, and that's not as often spoken about. So when you speak about that, so many people relate to you and are like, yeah, you know, we feel the same way, and I think that's what connects people.
So how was your mental health during pregnancy?
The first month was really bad, especially because there's this paradox, right? You're supposed to be really happy because you're having a baby, but you're feeling like crap all the time. Like for me, the first trimester was, and to each woman, every woman has a different journey of pregnancy. For me, my first trimester was really difficult. But I had crazy amounts of nausea. I couldn't get out of bed. I was tired all the time. I was putting on weight, but my baby weight was like 0.2 grams, 200 grams, sorry. So it was, and then you're not telling people. So,
Yeah.
I was canceling classes and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't make it today. What was I doing? I was lying in bed. And I was like, oh my God, I'm such a bad instructor. But I physically couldn't get out of bed because
This is just your first month.
this was my first trimester, my first 3 months.
First trimester.
My first
Okay.
trimester. And so that was really difficult because I'm like, oh my God, am I already a bad mother? And you're supposed to be, your baby's mental health starts in the womb, and I'm only sitting here crying. My baby's going to be like a crying baby. I had all these crazy thoughts, And then you move on with it, and your second trimester comes. Energy surged up for me.
Yeah.
I felt a lot better. In my third trimester, again, I felt really low because I was very heavy. Movement did not help me, ironically. I help everybody through movement. When I always say that you should not live in pain, I was living in pain for the last 2 months of my pregnancy. Every part of my body, from my rib cage to my pelvis, every part of my body was constantly in pain. And nothing I did except for go into a swimming pool would help it. But how long can you be in a swimming pool? So
Yeah.
it was a really tough journey. And then for someone who also has struggled with body image issues, like I understood logically that I'm growing a baby inside of
Yeah.
me. But to see my face swell up and my arms swell up and my thighs swell up, it was, oh my God, how am I ever going to come back to normal? When am I ever going to be fit again? It was a journey and a half, and it took, I think, and that's the other thing, I think a lot of women go through it and not a lot of women talk about it, because what you see is the pregnancy shoot photos, which
Yeah.
are beautiful and are lovely, but you don't see all the months of struggle and all the mental health issues that go behind just the pregnancy phase.
And how has motherhood been so far?
Motherhood is a trip.
2.5 years, Zenith, you said?
2.5 years. My daughter's 2.5 years. It's a trip. It's a roller coaster. I always say it's the best roller coaster ride you'll ever go on in your life. There are insanely high highs and there are insanely low lows, and it's all just a part of the journey. And
Okay.
you have to, I think the one thing that I've learned through motherhood is you just have to let it go. The good, the bad, the ugly, it all is a part of the journey, and it's okay. It's messy. It's really messy. like nothing can compare to when I'm sleeping and my daughter will put her hand on my cheek and say, Mama, I love you. Nothing in the world compares to that. And then after I've had like a really long day and I cannot wait to come home and spend time with her because I know I have 1 hour with her before bed. And she's just in the worst mood ever. And she's crying and she's hitting me and she's throwing things. And you're like, what am I doing this for? There's all kinds of highs and lows.
What would be like your key learnings since you've had Zenith? Like something that you would want to say to expected moms or new moms?
It's so funny because I wanted to write a post on this because every time I see someone who's pregnant and they're so excited to have a baby, I'm like, you have no idea what you're in for. It's crazy. Soak it all in. It all goes by too fast. Even the bad stuff, like the first 3 months when your child comes out, most children have some kind of, they're not even stomach issues. The stomach is just developing biologically.
Yeah.
And all doctors will be like, it's colic. It's not colic. Your baby's stomach is developing and they're crying. That's what they do. And you're like, oh my God, like I'm not getting sleep and my baby's, everything seems so big when you're in it. And then suddenly it's over, right? One day it just disappears. They stop crying for stomach issues. They'll start crying for other things, right? And so you realize, and now that I look back, I'm like, oh my God, like she's talking full-fledged now. She says no to me. No, Mama, don't kiss me. No, Mama, I don't want to wear clothes. No, Mama, I want to go swimming now. And I'm like, I really miss my baby. And when I was in baby phase, I was like, I can't wait for her to grow up and talk. The point is, everything goes by so fast. Just enjoy every part of it. Savor it because it's going to be over very soon. Yeah, that's the only reason I want to have a second baby. I don't actually want to have a second baby, but just to actually enjoy it as I go through it, I might want to.
How have you changed? Do you think you have changed as a person after having Zenith? Has your thought process changed? The way you perhaps even overlook your business?
I am a whole different person today.
Different person?
Completely.
Compared to what you were 3 years ago?
Yeah. I don't even remember who I was before Zenith.
What has changed?
Priorities. Priorities have changed. So, before the business was the main priority in my life, work was most important. What are the numbers? What are the sales numbers? How have we done this month? What are the costs? How can you get them down? What is the new event coming up?
Yeah.
After she came into my life, today I could, before I would work a 12-hour day and I'd feel super like, wow, I've really killed it today. I come home, get a great night's sleep because I've done my bit.
Yeah.
Now, if I do a 12-hour work day and I have not seen Zenith, it feels completely useless. What was the point of that? Why did I work for 12 hours? Who am I working for? I am working because I want to eventually give her a better life, right? But why am I working if I don't even get to see her? There's this one thing I read on Instagram that was beautiful that says, in the process of trying to give them a better life, don't miss out on the days. And that's what I really live by. That every single day, I have to get a minimum of 2.5 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours with her. Otherwise, nothing else is worth it. So even like today, I worked from morning to afternoon.
Yeah.
I had those 2 hours in the afternoon before I came here. Because after this, I'm going somewhere else. And I'm like, if I don't get those 2 hours, my day is not worth it. That's just one part of it. The other part of it is your brain actually biologically expands as a mother. Because before you thought you were busy, I'm doing work and I'm doing scheduling and I'm doing privates and I'm learning Pilates and I'm teaching Pilates. After you become a mother, you have all of these things which are now, that was 100%. Now this is only 40 or 30% of your brain. The other 60 or 70% is diapers and nappy changes and nap times and food and I have to order this and I have to order that and oh my God, they have to go for this class and they have to go for that class and they have to go to nursery. Which school are they going to go to? Your entire life changes, your brain anatomy changes, things you never knew about before are suddenly your entire life, right? So I used to go to the gym because I had a certain way I wanted to look. Now I go to the gym because I need to be strong enough to carry my daughter. The reason I go to the gym has changed. It's like she wants me to carry her for 10 minutes and my arms get tired. So I will make sure my workouts are geared towards make my arms strong enough to be able to carry her. Because what else matters?
Has the relation with Abbas changed pre and post?
Yes.
How?
Yes. I think mothers become mothers. Well, I'm not going to speak for all in my relationship. I think I became a mother almost instantly. And I think he took a while to become a father. I think that happens to a lot of men also. I'm not going to say all. But it's like, it makes sense, right? The first kind of 6 months, the baby's not really responding, not really giving you any attention or love. They're just growing. And so for fathers, they're like trying to do a lot. They want to be there. They want to do everything. But your baby just needs the mother, needs milk, needs some care, needs mother's affection when they're crying. And so it was, for me, in a second after she came, my entire life changed. And for him, it didn't. There was a very big gap between where I was and where he was. And because we also worked together, my priority went from the pad and him to Zenith.
Yeah.
So his priority became also managing my work at the pad. And so for a while, we were living very parallel lives. It was difficult. It was hard, and it took a lot for us to find our paths back together. But we managed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think BNI, you were part of this
Yes.
networking group that you played a huge pivotal role in.
Yeah.
Why did you think of leaving?
For this
Because
reason.
when you got pregnant,
Yeah.
that's when you left it.
No, I actually I left it after I delivered my baby as well.
Ah, okay.
So Zenith actually came to BNI as well for a meeting. I had to bring her. She was a BNI baby. She came out on a Thursday, which was my meeting day. I left because I just felt like there was too many things pulling me in too many different directions, and something had to give. So I had work. I had my baby. My entire Abbas side of the family moved here. Then there was BNI, and then there was business expansion. There was not even time for me to think about where is Shaazia time or me time to think about myself. And with everything pulling me in different directions, I was not able to give anything enough of me. I was not fully satisfied with any part of it. Right? So I was like, something needs to give. I can't tell my in-laws, okay, take a hike for a year. I can't take my baby. That was the only thing I could take a break from was BNI. And so unfortunately, that was what I had to do.
But do you think that helped you a lot in all those years to get in relevant or significant business?
BNI is not just for how much quantifiable business you get or the tangible business. It is very much the intangible part of it. So when I came to Dubai, I knew nobody except for my husband and maybe one other person.
Yeah.
And then I became friends with all of his friends and the pads clients, right? But when I joined BNI, I had a whole network that was now mine, that
Okay.
was there to support me. But not just support me. So let me give you an example. When I became an instructor, I was charging a certain amount when I first started. I fully had imposter syndrome because I was a person who hated going to the gym, and suddenly people were paying me all this money to come
Yeah.
train from me. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like I have to give them the best class ever to every person who comes in. And if they're paying me for 1 hour, every minute of that 1 hour, they should get the greatest workout ever, right? And so when I was part of BNI, I was not able to pass any referrals because I was only training or working on the business, I was not talking about other people's business to my clients. And one day, one of the guys came to me and they're like, you have all these private clients and they would be great referrals for BNI. And I was like, I'm not talking to them in my class. I'm just training them. And he's like, but you have to talk to them. Like, how are you building your relationship if you're only training them? And it's such a simple, small thing. But when I started doing that, which is actually conversing with them in the middle of sets and talking to them about their lives and asking them more about their lives, that relationship building is what kept clients with me. It was never the workout. You don't go to your favorite trainer just for the workout. If they're a great person who can give you a great workout, yes, you'll go to them. But what keeps you there is the relationship, right? You love chatting with them. You like having a laugh with them. They know about your life. They know about your issues. They know about your injuries. They know about your kids. You can talk to them about what happened 3 years ago because they were there in your life then. Your trainer is actually the person you're meeting 2 or 3 times a week. It's more than you meet any of your friends in your life, right? So if you're not building a relationship with your clients, you're losing on one of the most essential aspects of it. And BNI taught me that. And I'm forever grateful. That's just one of the many intangibles I learned from BNI.
Would you ever think of joining back?
Abbas is there as a part of it already. So
But I think you both are very different personalities,
Yeah.
whatever I understand.
Yeah.
So, and you played a role. Like, I think you played a very strong and a proactive role
Yeah.
in contributing back to BNI.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked this question.
Yeah, I don't know. I would never say never. I love BNI. I'm actually going next Thursday for a meeting because I haven't been in like 8 months.
Now that you're starting a second pad,
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not really just going to talk about that. Also,
Yeah.
I'm going to just honestly meet people, say hi. I miss the vibe. I really miss like Thursday morning. You could wake up in the worst mood, and then you got into BNI, and everybody's like, "Good morning," and you're like, "Okay, I'm awake now." You felt it. You were there.
you swear by BNI.
I swear by BNI.
Who do you think would be the right people to join BNI?
So anyone who has a small business in Dubai, if you're new or even if you're seasoned, BNI gives you access to other business owners that you would never usually have access to. And every single business owner has so much to teach you, and there's so much you can learn from each of them. That if you've been isolated in your industry, in your little cocoon, BNI will blow your mind open and be like, wow, there's so much more to this world than I ever thought. Right? So today, because I was a part of it for 7 years, you ask me about any industry, I will know at least 2 or 3 details that I can have a full conversation with you about, and that's only because of BNI.
Like they say, right? Your network is your net
Your
worth.
network. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Coming back to the current situation, what do you forecast how it's going to be the next 4 or 5 months? I mean, we got those alerts a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
School's back online.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can forecast anything. I think there's forces much larger than we understand at play.
Your industry, I mean, you're opening in September.
Yeah. So the only thing I think we're going on is faith that they eventually have to calm down, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone sees this city going down. That's not something I see happening. The only thing is whether you see it coming back in a few months or in a few years. And for me, I fully believe in it, that it's going to come back in a few months. And when it does come back, even if it is 7-8 months, a year, I want to be ready for when it does come back. Right? So I want to capitalize on this downtime. And I know a lot of my friends who are sitting outside of Dubai right now and like waiting to invest because they missed the first boat and they don't want to miss the second boat.
Okay.
Right? So after you missed the first boat, prices was crazy high right before the war, and it was impossible to come in. Everything's now falling. Right? So they're waiting for some kind of stability because they all want to enter at that time. It's a great time to enter the
But
market.
if they think that this is going to, I mean, even if you think it's going to bounce back, then this would be the right time to invest.
It would be the perfect time, and that's what we're doing. So, fingers
Yeah.
crossed. For the industry, this is even pre-war. I said, especially in the last 3 years, there's been a mushrooming of Pilates studios that have come out. And Abbas and I talk about this usually, that it may seem like a really lucrative business model, but it's hard work. It's hard work keeping your clients, getting new clients, maintaining your quality. I want to see how many of them last 2 years from now.
Can you be busy and broke?
Very much. You can very much be busy. Especially as a Pilates instructor,
Yeah.
you can very much be busy and broke. Absolutely.
So then do they have a lot of, I mean, do you also have a lot of deals in quieter times? You drop your price. Where do you draw the line with resilience and like panic discounting?
No, we don't go down that path. We're very lucky in that sense that we have clients who are willing to support us, especially in the hard times.
So no deals, no
So
drops.
we'll go on sale, like our
Yeah.
normal, like on Eid we'll go on sale, or we have an event, we'll give you an extra class. But at like the biggest sale of the year happens one time a year, and that's a 20% off. That's the only time we're 20% off. No other time of the
But
year.
like
we will
Groupon and these kind of deal apps?
Never. No, never. Because we're very clear on our positioning. We're a boutique premium fitness studio. We're going to give you the most amazing Pilates you've ever done, right? And if true Pilates is what you're looking for, you're going to love us. If you're looking for something else, like I'm looking for a killer workout, a lot of our classes are also a killer workout, but like a mega form or a Lagree is what you want to do, right? But if you're actually looking for Pilates, we know we're amazing, so we don't discount ourselves then.
All right. Shaazia, what gives you hope about Dubai in these uncertain times?
What gives me hope? History. History gives me hope. Dubai has bounced back every single time from all the crises it has been in. And history is our best hope.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shaazia. Thank you for your time and being part of our season 2 Imprint of Success.
It was amazing, Anish. Thank you so much for having me.
Good to see you.